Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate several different ways that you can make a fleece blanket that's really easy. You can either make a single layer fleece blanket or a two-layer. And the fleece that I'm using is fleece that I purchased from Walmart. And they come in these pre-cut pieces that are about 1.5 yards long. So they're 54 inches wide by 60 inches long. So for some of these blankets that I'm demonstrating, you'll just need one package. But if you're going to make the double layer, then of course you would need 2 packages. I often get asked by viewers if I have any projects that a child could do. Not a really tiny child, but someone that's already got some motor skills and knows how to use scissors safely. So this is a single layer blanket that they can do, and all they need is a little ruler and a pair of scissors. So first thing you're going to do is lay your fleece out, smooth it all out. And then you want to cut those selvage edges off. They look kind of white sometimes on the edge. So you want to cut that off because they usually don't look very nice. Then take your ruler and at all 4 corners, you're going to lay it in there. Now, this is about 2-inch long fringe. So let's say you only want 1 inch or you want 3-inch, 5-inch. You decide how long you want your fringe. And that's the size of the square you're going to cut out. So you can either take a marking pin or a little pencil and draw around that side of your ruler and then cut your corners out. So all of your corners should look like this. Then take masking tape and you're going to lay it out from this corner straight across over to the other corner, and do that on all 4 sides. Then take your scissors and cut however wide you want your fringe to be. So, and you cut up to the tape all the way around. And if you wanted a little bit more personality to your fringe, I recommend this only if your fringe is really long. You could point them or do little dovetail designs. So you could fold it in half and then cut your point or your little dovetail design. The next examples that I'm going to show you involve some sewing, only on 4 sides. There's no fancy seams that you need to do. So here are 3 different stitches that I recommend. You probably have all 3 of these on your machine. This is what we call a 2-step zigzag. It actually goes over 2 stitches, then goes in the other side, goes over 2 stitches. And it's really hard to see that there's that many little stitches at it because fleece actually stretches a little bit. And so this stitch will move with the fabric. It's very, very simple. This is an overcast stitch. And all machines, even if it's mechanical, have at least 1 or more overcast stitches. If you're not sure what an overcast stitch is on your machine, look in your user's manual and it will list all of those stitches that are considered overcast. This is just a straight stitch. So you could use any of these, and of course you can use any stitch you want on your machine. I'm going to go over the recommended stitch settings. Fleece, especially if you're doing a 2-layer fleece blanket, if your stitches are too small, they're going to get buried into the fleece. If you make a mistake and you want to rip those stitches out, it's going to be impossible. You'll wind up putting a hole in your fleece. So I recommend for the straight stitch, you change your stitch length to 4.0. Now some of you probably think, ooh, that's really big. You could go to 3.5, but I found it's really safe to stick to this number because if you have a mistake, it's going to be much easier to rip this out. If you're going to use the stitch, that 2-step zigzag stitch, I would change the width to 7.0, the widest width it'll go, and a length of 2.0. If you're going to use the overcast stitch, which looks like a blanket stitch, you can change the width to 7.0 and then the length to 5.0. This is actually a 2-layer blanket, so I have different fabric on the back. It's plain fleece, but you can have prints on both sides or even use the same fleece. So then you're going to smooth out your layers. Make sure your fabric is really smooth so that everything comes together. And fleece, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get those fabrics layered and smoothed out together so that they're all lined up. Then, of course, you need to again decide on how long you want your fringe. This fringe is 3 inches long. So again, you cut your squares out first in all of your corners. Then, before you cut your fringe, lay your tape out. Then along this outside edge of your tape, do your stitch that you've selected, either the straight stitch, the blanket stitch, or the overcast stitch, and then or the 2-stitch zigzag stitch. Do that first, and if you should accidentally stitch over the tape a little bit, don't worry, it comes off really easy. Then once you've got that done, you go ahead and you use your scissors or even a rotary cutter, I've done it both ways, and cut up to the tape, maybe stay back just a little bit from those stitches, and you do that on all 4 sides. If you're wondering what the stitching looks like when you're done, here's the back of it. And so you can see right here, this was just a straight stitch. Supposing all you want is just a little single layer blanket, maybe you can take on the airplane with you, because I don't like to borrow the airplane blankets. I feel better bringing my own. So you could again cut out your corners, but only cut them out 1 inch square on all 4 corners. Then you're going to take your 2 longest edges and fold it over like this. And I would place pins to hold it down, because remember, this does stretch and the fabric can shift. And then select one of those stitches. So this is the edge I folded over and stitched, and this is what it should look like. Now this is that overcast stitch. It has a really nice look to it on this particular style of blanket. Now I'm going to flip it over so you can see the front side, and it's very, very decorative if you do it that way. Okay, now your next thing is to take your other 2 edges, because you've already done your longest 2 edges. Now take your shorter edges. Take this corner and fold it over like this. Okay, so you've got a little angle right there. Then you're going to fold it over again so you have this mitered corner. Then go to the other corner and do it the same way. And then place pins to hold and then stitch it down. Now here's the back side, and this is what it looks like when it's all done. Now I'm going to turn it over, and this is what it looks like on the front side. Now I'm going to show you how to do that same style, but using 2 layers of fleece. And they can be different colors and different prints if you like. So take one of your pieces and cut corners out that are 1 inch. Now take your other piece of fleece and you're going to cut it 1 inch shorter on all 4 sides. So basically you're cutting the overall piece size-wise 2 inches smaller. So then lay it in the center of your larger piece of fleece. Now some fleeces are 2-sided. One side will look a little brighter than the other. Have the prettiest side facing up. And then if your fleece on the back has a print, make sure on this side it's the prettiest side. So now you're going to do this one the same way you did the first one. So take this and fold it over and then stitch it down all the way across. Go to the other side, fold it over, and stitch. Then after you've got these two edges done, you want to go and fold your corners over like this, fold it over again, and then pin and stitch it down. And you do all of your corners like that. Now I have one other fleece blanket in which it is a no-sew project, but it's 2-layer and it's not tied. I use kind of a different technique to get it to look this way. So this fleece blanket, I'll have the link to it so you know how to put this one together. It's not difficult. It will be in the description section. So scroll down below your YouTube screen. You'll see the words show more or the down arrow. You click on either one of those and that section will expand open and you will see a link to it. It's my most popular fleece blanket. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. It's a great beginner's project, a great way to get started. Now, if you're interested in other beginner sewing projects, check below your YouTube screen for those video links in that description section. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.